Build tomorrow with your name. I saw us growing old. I planned my life around your smile, every story told. But while I was dreaming, you were pulling away. I built a future, you didn't want to stay. I thought we were building together, but I was alone. I built a future you didn't want, with rooms you never filled. I built a future you didn't want, and now it's standing still. I carried all the weight of a dream you let go. I built a future you didn't want, and now I know. I ignored the hesitation in the way you spoke. I called it uncertainty, not a broken hope. You never said forever, you just let me believe. And that's the hardest part for me to grieve. I love the idea of us more than the truth. I built a future you didn't want, with rooms you never filled. I built a future you didn't want, and now it's standing still. I carried all the weight of a dream you let go. I built a future you didn't want, and now I know. I'll tear down every promise that only I believe, and build a life that chooses me. I built a future you didn't want, but I'll build one of my own, with love that stays and means it, and doesn't feel alone. I built a future you didn't want, but I'm starting again. This time I'll build with someone who wants the same end. I'm starting I counted days by your smile, by the way you said my name. I thought love meant standing still, even when things changed. I gave you time, I gave you space, I gave you all I had, but you were already leaving while I was holding back. You said love shouldn't feel heavy, but I carried it alone. I loved you longer than you stayed, I gave more than you could take. I kept believing in us while you were walking away. I loved you longer than you stayed, and now I'm paying the cost. I stayed for the future you already lost. defended every silence, every time you pulled away. I called it just a phase while you were halfway gone. I kept your side of the story like it was part of mine. I didn't see the ending till you crossed the line. I thought love meant forever, but forever was just me. I loved you longer than you stayed. I gave more than you could take. I kept believing in us while you were walking away. I loved you longer than you stayed, and now I'm standing alone, holding on to memories that won't bring you home. I love be loving harder was never the key. Maybe love should meet you halfway like me. I loved you longer than you stayed, but I won't do that again. I'll find someone who chooses me, not just till the end. I loved you longer than you stayed, but now I'm letting go. I'll stop loving echoes and start loving home. I'll start loving home. I stayed when the room grew colder, when your smile didn't reach your eyes. I stayed when the words felt empty and love stopped asking why. I noticed the way you drifted, like you were already gone, but I kept pretending we were still holding on. You stopped trying to reach me. I tried enough for two. I stayed while love faded, while you pulled away. I stayed while love faded and called it a phase. I held on to pieces you already lost. I stayed while love faded and paid the cost. I defended every silence, every night you chose the dark. I blame myself for distance, for the cracks inside your heart. You said you needed time, but time was pushing me out. I stayed where love faded, without a doubt. You let go quietly. I stayed too loud. I stayed while love faded, while you pulled away. I stayed while love faded and called it a phase. I held on to pieces you already lost. I stayed while love faded and paid the cost. won't stay again. I'll walk away with what's left of who I am. I stayed while love faded, but I've learned at last, sometimes leaving is surviving the past. I survived the past. Loving you felt like drowning, with a smile on my face. I kept reaching for air in your changing space. I gave more than I should've, I stayed longer than I knew, but I survived loving you. You didn't mean to destroy me, but you did. I survived loving you, even when it broke me down. Loving you when I couldn't make a sound. I walked through the fire, I made it out alive. I survived loving you, and now I'm learning how to thrive. I lost myself in your needs, I forgot my own name. I blame my heart for your inability to stay, but I'm standing here breathing after all we went through. I survived loving you. I thought losing you was the end, it was the start. I survived loving you, even when it broke me down. Loving you when I couldn't make a sound. I walked through the fire, I made it out alive. I survived loving you, and now I'm learning how to thrive. Not every love is meant to last, some are meant to teach. I survived loving you, and I'm stronger today. Loving you, and I found my way. I won't regret the love I gave so true. I survived loving you, and I survived me too. I survived me too. I left my heart where you dropped it, on the floor of goodbye. I thought you'd come back for it, at least one last time. I stayed right where you ended, like time forgot my name. The world kept turning, but I stayed the same. I told myself you'd return, but you never did. My heart waiting where you left it, in the quiet of that day. My heart waited where you left it while you walked away. I stood still in the moment you decided to go. My heart waited where you left it, and I didn't know. Every sound feels empty now, every room too wide. I talk to memories like you're still inside. I replay our last words like they meant something more, but closure never knocked on my door. I kept hoping time would heal, but time just watched my heart waiting where you left it, in the quiet of that day. My heart waited where you left it while you walked away. I stood still in the moment you decided to go. My heart waited where you left it, and I didn't know. Maybe hearts aren't meant to wait that long. Maybe letting go is being strong. My heart waited where you left it, but I'm calling it back. I'll take it from the silence, from the cracks. My heart waited where you left it, but now it's coming home. I won't live my life in a moment alone. I won't wait alone. I didn't speak when it hurt, I didn't fight when it burned. I swallow words like medicine I never learned. You thought my quiet meant comfort, you thought I was okay, but silence was just pain with nothing to say. I wasn't calm, I was breaking inside. My silence wasn't peace, it was me holding on. My silence wasn't peace, it was screaming alone. I stayed quiet to keep you, lost myself instead. My silence wasn't peace, it was everything unsaid. I smiled through the damage, I nodded through the doubt. I chose to be invisible so you wouldn't walk out. But every word I buried built a wall in my chest. My silence wasn't strength, it was a test. I thought love meant patience. Find love means truth. My silence wasn't peace, it was me holding on. My silence wasn't peace, it was screaming alone. I stayed quiet to keep you, but lost myself instead. My silence wasn't peace, it was everything unsaid. Next time I'll speak the truth, even if it shakes. My silence wasn't peace, but my voice will be. I'll choose honesty, even if it costs me. I won't disappear to keep someone near. My silence wasn't peace, but now I'm free. Packed your future quietly and left it all behind. You stepped into tomorrow while I stayed in time. You moved on with open hands, I clung to photographs. You left me holding the past. I didn't know letting go would hurt like this. You left me holding the past while you chased something new. You left me holding the past and memories of you. I'm stuck in yesterday while you're already free. You left me holding the past and it's holding me. I replay every promise like it still exists. I trace your name in moments I should have missed. You said we'd always matter, but not like this. You left me holding the past with clenched fists. I loved what we were more than what we became. You left me holding the past while you chased something new. You left me holding the past and memories of you. I'm stuck in yesterday while you're already free. You left me holding the past and it's holding me. I'll letting it go. I'll step into tomorrow, even if it's slow. You left me holding the past, but it won't define me. I'll carry the lesson, not the memory. Not the memory. You said all the right things at the wrong times. You held my hand, but never held the line. You let me dream of forever while you planned your escape. You let me believe in something you never meant to make. You watched me build hope while you already knew. You let me believe too long in a love that wasn't true. You let me believe too long in forever with you. You should have told me sooner you were halfway gone. You let me believe too long, and now I'm moving on. I trusted the promises you never planned to keep. I mistook your comfort for something deep. You didn't lie with words, you lied with time. You let me cross a line that was only mine. I thought belief was love, but love doesn't mislead. You let me believe too long in a love that wasn't true. You let me believe too long and forever with you. You should have told me sooner you were halfway gone. You let me believe too long, and now I'm moving on. Next time I'll trust actions, not what someone says. You let me believe too long, but I finally see a love that needs deception was never for me. You let me believe too long, but I survived the lie. Now I believe in myself, and that's how I'll survive. That's how I survive. I had words on my tongue, I had truth in my chest. I was ready to fight, to give us my best. But you turned your back before I could try. You closed the door without asking why. I wasn't silent by choice, you never let me be heard. You walked away before I could speak, before I could say what you meant to me. I held the truth in my hands, but you never stayed to see. You walked away before I could speak, and now I'm left with regret. You'll never know the love you never let me confess. I practiced every sentence, I rehearsed every line, but you made your decision before I had time. You call it moving on, I call it running away from a love that deserved one more day. You never heard my voice, you only heard your fear. You walked away before I could speak, before I could say what you meant to me. I held the truth in my hands, but you never stayed to see. You walked away before I could speak, and now I'm left with regret. You'll never know the love you never let me confess. Maybe silence was easier than hearing the truth. Maybe staying scared you more than love could do. You walked away before I could speak, but I won't stay silent again. I'll give my heart to someone who wants to listen in. You walked away before I could speak, but I found the voice at last. I won't lose another love to a moment in the past. I found my voice. I didn't know silence could scream until you were gone. I didn't know nights could hurt this long. Your absence filled every room, every breath I take. Your absence taught me pain. You didn't have to hurt me, you just had to leave. Your absence taught me pain in ways words can't explain. Your absence taught me truth about love is someone who couldn't stay. I learned what it means to break without a sound. Your absence taught me pain that I'm healing from now. I search for you in habits, in songs, in crowds. I tried to replace you, but nothing worked out. I blame myself for losing you, till I finally saw some people don't leave scars, they leave laws. I learned love shouldn't hurt like this. Your absence taught me pain in ways words can't explain. Your absence taught me truth about loving someone who couldn't stay. I learned what it means to break without a sound. Your absence taught me pain that I'm healing from now. One day I'll thank the silence for showing me who I am. Your absence taught me pain, but it also taught me strength. It taught me how to survive.